I mean, someone got a hardware upgrade. It's only fair to show it off to the world, right? Yeah, your boy got a brand new mic for his birthday. And for the seven of you watching this, my birthday is on 9th May. I know I'm very much attention seeking and I absolutely love it. So, yeah, there's that. And it was a birthday gift from my friends. Oh, wow. It sounds so good to say that. Yeah, it's a bunch of them. So I just want to thank them so much for this gift. And it is, it is nothing short of amazing. I know I'm spending a lot of time saying this, but then I really am. I just said I really am. I really am so much happy. I also got a shirt from a very special person. And yeah, I'm in love with him, by the way. So, shirt's pretty good. I wore it the very next day. It was supposed to be a birthday gift and slapped, absolutely slapped. So it's a mic. This is a mic, and I'm recording in it. And oh my god, I feel a little more professional now, right? Whenever you get a new hardware upgrade, you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna use it to the max, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I think this still sounds like a phone or something. I'm still figuring out things, but then I don't want to let my figuring out get in the way of absolutely wanting to demolish the publishing on this. I want to say smash the like button, something like that, but then I realize demolishing, yeah, never mind. So, yeah, trying out new things. Ironically, I spoke about that in the first 2 minutes, but here's one of what I want to talk about actually. So a week ago at our company, we had this thing, annual awards, and one person from our TA talent acquisition team was kind enough to come and ask me to do a stand-up routine, stand-up comedy. Here's the thing: there is a difference between saying jokes at your break table versus making hundreds of people laugh. Okay, I learned that the hard way. And I was all prepared to say the trekking story, which I believe was the second episode of my podcast. And I was fully prepared. I was thinking, hey, you know what? This story is absolutely going to slap because wherever I said that story, self-deprecation is the best stand-up thing you can ever do. So I thought, hey, what's the worst thing going to be? It's going to be a nice experience, right? I'm going to be able to make people laugh. I'm going to get my name out to the people, and people are going to know me. Of course, attention seeking. I know it's a drug, isn't it? And I said yes, obviously. So I was preparing for my material, and I realized that it did need practice. It's not impromptu. Like this episode right now, it's impromptu, so you might feel some lag, but then I just want to get it out without any kind of a structure. And I'm too excited to try this mic. So you have to bear with me for the lack of script. But then once I went on stage, okay, I want to skip to the part where I actually went on stage. 200 people, lights were blaring, glaring, whatever. They were on my face. I was promised a spotlight, but then it was like an ocean of lights on my face, and I couldn't see anyone. And my first question to the audience was, "How many of you are trekkers here?" No, I need to see the people raise their arms if I want to continue my routine. And that is where the first wave of dry throat hit my throat. Okay. And it was scary. It was scary. I couldn't see anyone, and I'm here on stage. I have no idea what to do. I've got 10 minutes and I got to get that story out. I see my team, the very team that gifted me this, they are laughing their hearts out. And I realized that, okay, they were nothing but supportive on that day. But I realized that, holy shit, I'm screwed. And I had to continue, right? I couldn't chicken out. No, your boy is not a chicken. He's vegetarian. So I realized, okay, let me give it a shot. And I just said something very now I feel it was good, but then I just said, I'm gonna assume. I literally said this. I'm gonna assume that you guys are raising your hands, and I realized, oh my god, nobody's laughing. No one laughed. I couldn't even see people move their mouths even a little bit. No, the thing that you do when you swipe reels, right? You don't laugh, but then you're just like, huh, or something like that. I didn't even see that. Maybe it was the nervousness, but then the senior management, that's all I could see. My vision was limited only to the senior management. Hey, that sounds like a fantastic idea for an interview. Like, my vision is limited only to the senior management. But I digress. So it was only limited to the senior management, and they absolutely didn't react anything. One of them was on their phone, and this is where I started getting scared because no one was interested. I didn't have anyone's attention. And here I am doing the most abysmal stuff on the stage. The Trek episode, for those of you who heard it, for those of you who are just joining right now, please go visit that audio. Please, I really need those views. And so here's what happened. I couldn't, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get them to laugh. And I'm 5, 6 minutes comfortably inside the routine. And I'm almost to the stage where I'm going back home after the disastrous trek, and yet somehow this was even worse, and I didn't see anyone laugh. And i was I realized, oh my god, everyone is seeing this. Like, I had a second wave of realization that everyone's seeing this, in the sense that everyone's going to make fun of me. Previously, all the attention I thought that I was going to get is going to come in a different kind of a way, right? And nothing is going to prepare you for that. You're going to have a very strong stomach for that. And all I have is a belly. So, and so what happened was I finished my routine. So I somehow wrap it up in the end. So what I say is, I say this thing like, hey, if someone calls me for a trek going forward, I'm going to stare exactly the way you guys are staring at me right now. And I don't know why I did the accent. I just want to mock myself because I feel so horrible. Anyways, and they laughed for that. And I was like, what? You guys are laughing for this, but not for all the thing I just tried, for the past 10 minutes. And then, yeah, that was a good way to finish things in hindsight. But then the brutality started after I stepped down. My team, supportive team, they started saying things like, hey, when's the comedy going to start? You said something about a comedy act, right? And I took it all. I took it all in, and there was no option. So that was horrible. Okay, that was horrible. And in a way it was funny because I'm a funny guy. I'm supposed to be sportive. I'm not sportive. I hold a grudge. My god. Okay, but then this happened, and then funnily enough, and there's some voice in the background. I really hope you're not hearing it because your boy just got a hardware upgrade. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I should stop doing that. So funnily enough, after I went out, a couple of people who I didn't know came up to me and said, hey, I like the way you told your story. And one of them even said, good message. Good message? What did I say? I told about I hate trekking, and then I went on a horrible trip. What's there to learn in that? Then I realized, hey, compliment is a compliment. I'm not going to question the compliments. I can question the criticism, not the compliments. So I took it. I wholeheartedly took it. And there was a good chunk of people who came and told me that, hey, this is very good, or something like that. And I was so happy, because I'm used to criticisms, right? Everyone's used to criticisms, but I never did expect a compliment, because the moment I felt it was all going to dust, I realized, hey, I'm going to expect a notion of criticisms, but I never saw a compliment coming, and it was beautiful. And even one girl was so sweet enough to ask me, hey, Karthik, can we go on a trek? And then she told me that you didn't even give me the stare that you told you were going to give me, right? And that was a very wholesome moment. I really appreciated that, because I'm doing a thumbs up right now. This were an video podcast, you would have seen me doing a thumbs up right now. And this thumbs up is going far more than intended. So yeah, that's just about it. And I really wanted to share this incident and, kind of keep this thing going. Not as consistent, but then someone was kind enough to gift me a mic for my birthday. I mean, not just someone, anyone. Uh, my closest friends, they were kind enough, and I mean, no matter how much fun they make, they were kind enough to do this for me, and that itself is a big, big blessing. And so, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. And for the few people who, I mean, I'm sure I have people who are like, ugh, this guy posted a video again or something like that. And for those people, yeah, we ain't stopping anytime soon. I did so many accents during this video. I forgot during this podcast. I forgot what is my original accent. And yeah, that's about it. It's a short one, a quickie, if you will. Yeah, I realized what I said. So I I enjoy doing this. I mean, 15 people, 20 people, doesn't matter. A lot of people did make fun of me that day for doing this, but then yeah, it's okay. I mean, well, I have no message from this because I'm just thinking of kind of an example which would make it feel like, oh no, people will come against you. I have no idea if this is gonna survive. But then for the for the time that it does, if I know that I've made an impact, or if I know that I have been, in some way touching people's lives. I mean, I'm not touching people's lives. I'm no social worker, but then if I genuinely made 10 minutes of your life better by you guys listening to this, then that's a victory for me. And I get to say all these things. And so there are no regrets here. So yeah, that's about it. See you on the next one. And this time I'm going to be uploading regularly as a big, big thank you to this mic. And of course, the shirt too. Yeah, I'm going to remember these things for the rest of my life. So thank you so much. This one's by me for you. Wow, felt great. See you on the next one. Ta ta.